Hello, welcome to my presentation on Civil Rights and Liberties by Samantha Carreon. Here's a table of contents of all the things that I'll be talking about. The first topic is freedom of speech. So, freedom of speech is something that you can find in your First Amendment, which basically says that you're allowed for public criticism, and the First Amendment protects you from the government doing things that try to deny your speech, like throwing you in jail because of something that you said. All speech is protected, even hate speech. So an example of hate speech is burning a cross on a person's lawn or maybe burning a flag. It's all protected, and the government can't throw you in jail because of you doing so. But speech that's not protected is speech that is likely to incite immediate violence, so also known as fighting words. These basically mean that words that are insults that can lead to violence. However, almost never is used in the courtroom. So if you threaten someone with words that come off violently, the government can put you in jail, but it's almost never used in a courtroom. The next topic is freedom of religion. So freedom of religion is also found in your First Amendment. It's the establishment of religion. So the U.S. can't create an official state church because of the First Amendment. There is also free exercise clause, which means it can't be prohibited from being a part of a certain religion, but doesn't mean any practice is okay. So this essentially means that yes, you have your freedom to believe in what you want to believe in, but if your practice is human sacrifice and contains human sacrifice, the government, the state, local, federal law can prevent you from practicing that aspect of your religion. The next topic is freedom of the press, and this is also found in your First Amendment, which basically says that it prevents the government from censoring the press. So, although that the government can't censor the press, there are exceptions like national security issues that the government can censor. So, for example, if we have soldiers at war, those troop movements that they make can be censored by the government, and they can tell the press not to release anything about the troop moving because it could cause the opponent to figure out where the troops are and essentially get them killed or hurt. And there also was a word called the chilling effect, and this applies to speech that the press sometimes can be afraid to make any type of speech or publish anything because of a potential lawsuit or punishment against them. So if they post something or publicize something, at times press could withhold that information because they don't want to get a potential lawsuit against them or be punished for posting something or publishing something that they could get a punishment for. The next topic is search and seizure, which can be found in your Fourth Amendment, which essentially protects you from unreasonable searches and seizures by the police department or the government. They must obtain a warrant before they can search you. So, for example, if they have a warrant to search your car, they can only search your car, and they can't go looking in your house or in your garage because they didn't get a warrant for those things. They only got a warrant for your car. So that's the only thing that they should be searching. So for like another example, if police find something in your home without a warrant, so if they only had a warrant for your car and they went into your home and found some type of drug and they arrest you for it, they are in the wrong because they didn't have a search warrant to look in your house. So therefore, when you go to court, that evidence can't be presented because they never had a search warrant. They never had permission to search your house. They only had permission to search your car. Another example is that students don't have the same protection as a citizen, just because once they are in public school, the public school has a different type of protection, just to keep everyone in the education environment safe. So, for example, they can conduct drug tests and they can search your lockers and all that, due to the different laws that are set up for students in education systems. The next topic is due process of law, which essentially is a fair trial, which can refer to any type of legal action, but mainly concerned with criminal procedure. So, for example, if there's a mistrial on your case and the result of your case is neither convicted nor acquitted, the state can bring you back to trial again and hopefully then get a either convicted or acquitted trial. And an interesting fact that I thought was cool was the Miranda rights that are read to you. So Miranda is an actual person who was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and rape. He was self-incriminated and sentenced to 20 to 30 years in prison, and the lawyer claimed that his Fifth Amendment was violated because he was never read his Miranda rights, which wasn't invented then. And so they went to court and the court agreed, and then that's how the Miranda rights were made from then on. The next topic is the Ninth Amendment, and this one is a little bit hard to describe, but many people see the Ninth Amendment as a directional manual on how to read previous amendments. So essentially, if a right isn't written down, it doesn't exist, and rights that aren't stated in 1 through 10 doesn't mean that there can't be other rights that are retained by the people. The 10th Amendment protects state rights and limits federal power against us, the citizens. The states use it today to fight back when they think the federal government is doing too much, like, for example, marijuana laws or healthcare. And this essentially gives power to states. The Constitution or federal laws may not be broken. The next one is equal protection, which says that the government must treat all people equally under the law and can't be treated differently because of your race, gender, or religion. An example of this is protection of prisoners, male and female. They are both equal and neither one can be treated differently. Another example is for public school fundings, in a poor area versus a richer area, neither one can receive more than the other. So a rich school can't receive more money than a poor school because that wouldn't be equal protection. The last one is discrimination, which is treating someone unfairly because of race, gender, religion, disability, age, or sexual orientation. A example of this being put to use is Lou versus Nicholas, which basically says that schools have to provide education to students whose English is limited. So, for example, if an immigrant student enters the U.S. Education system and they don't necessarily speak the best of English, the school system is to provide that student with the correct material in their language, or even help them learn English so that they can be on track with the other students. Thank you for listening to my presentation.